Today we're checking out the Don Mills Triple Stair, and we're also going to be checking out the Don Mills Bank to Ledge as well, the Bank to Coston Stair. Two spots pretty close together. We call it a triple stair even though it's technically not a triple. It's a 4 flat, 3 flat, but it's like the only triple that we have. Right now we're in the York Mills, Don Mills area. We also got a guest with us, Mitch Donovan. I say us, but unfortunately Ryan will not be joining us today. But we're going to be getting into it today with myself and Mitch Donovan. So let's jump in. We're going to be starting off at this Coston ledge, Bank to Coston. 4-stair ledge, you skate the top stair, and these banks are pretty steep. I mean, I haven't been here in a long time. We used to come to the spot kind of often. At this time of day right now, we could get kicked out just for talking about it. The building does seem kind of full with a lot of cars, people working. There's been trucks pulling in, so that does kind of hurt the spot if you're trying to skate it. This ground is cheese grater. Part of what made it so difficult for me was just like the steepness of this bank and how rough it was and how slippery it was on the top too. So if you missed your trick getting in, like it's actually super scary. You just slide right out. And then when you actually do hopefully land your trick, you're landing it into an even steeper bank. I feel like that crack at the bottom might have got a little bit worse. You have to avoid this. This kind of always tripped me out. You could clip your body. I watch people clip their bodies on these things here too and hit it on the ride away. And I'll start off with my favorite one, which was Bobby de Kaiser. He did back lip, kick flip out on this one, and that's in his slub bucks part. He also did a regular backside blunt pop out to regular too. Kevin Teo, he was on a lot of those sessions with us back in the day. He did back lip front shove out. That's in Eric Valentik's American Originals Toronto video. Adrian Ramos, he did a kickback lip on this one. Rory Ferguson, he did a front side lip slide, backside 270 out on it. And then you have Jesse Mullins, who also did a similar trick, but he added a shove with it too, so kind of like a big spin. Another trick that I actually really liked as well was Mark Colhoun in slub bucks. He did frontside tailside front big spin out. I know he also did a frontside crook to fakie on it as well. Shout out to Dylan Barnes, his ender and state your name, the fakie ollie lip slide 270 out. You definitely have like tons of run up for it. I mean, it's just a little, I don't want to say little, but it's just a ledge, right? So you don't need all the run up in the world. You could even start from just right here. I remember when I was trying to skate this, I would just start from around here because it is a bit of a downhill once you get in there. So you pick up speed pretty quick. So I found that starting at the very back where these trees are was kind of too much. The ground starts from like this smooth asphalt and then turns into like this cement ground. I'd say they're both pretty smooth, to be honest, except for once you're on that bank, then it gets a little bit more cheese grater-ish. But going back to Donovan Jones, backside 5-0, front 180 out on it. He switched front nose grinded it. I really like that one a lot. And then this one was actually wild. He did switch frontside 180 like alley-oop to back 5-0, front 180 out as well.
Upstairs, get 5 cases of champagne or 2 limousines.
Adam Mancini, he skated it a little bit differently. He just skated it from flat. I guess he wasn't really feeling the bank. He just did a ollie up frontside nose slide to fakie. I mean, it's a 4-stair ollie in. That's no joke. Paul Howarth, he also did backside 5-0, front 180 on this one too. Zach Ferguson, kind of like a Shane O'Neill trick. He did big spin back lip on it. Brandon Del Bianco, he did frontside nose blunt, nollie 270 out. Like the hard way, and he also did a front blunt backside big spin out in Oscar material. Jay Brown, he did nollie front nose blunt on it, and he also did front blunt 270 on it as well.
We're talking about one of those big sessions we were all on back in the day. Cole Hacker did a back lip front 270. I actually backed him up. I wasn't too much of a fan of this spot at first. And it's really awkward to figure out with how steep the bank is, especially like both sides, but figuring out the pop for any trick, After a few sessions here, I had the trick in mind, which was nollie, back 180, nose grind, and then front 180 out.
Withdrawals of a prisoner on his way, trapped inside your...
Got lucky and backed up Cole after his back lip 270.
You could see me in the background, and I fully missed Cole's trick. But then I start clapping as if I saw it.
I remember, now that you say that, seeing that in the clip back in the day too, and we were laughing at it. But yeah, I was always super hyped on that clip, and I think it was my opener in State Your Name, back in my tank top era. Mike Schiffer, he did a front blunt fakie, and he also did a front crook fakie as well. John Gonzalez, another front blunt fakie on this.
Just right now, rush like blood.
Colin Passy switchback lip this thing, which is super sick. Matt Roberts did a fakie back tail. He also did a front 180, nose grind 180. Josh Edwards did a backboard 270 on this thing. Curtis Hartshorn did switchback 5-0, front 180. Another really sick one is Cody Brown's switch front nose blunt. And then in the Prodrome video, Pat O'Rourke also did the front lip 270 on this. Kyle Sadowski actually backed it up with a kickback lip. And Pat O'Rourke also did a half cab 5-0, back 180 out. Josh Forgs did a regular front nose blunt on this in Dan Everson's video. Another trick by Josh, front lip 3 shove out on something like this. Normally it's like a 270, but that's like a full 3 shove. Another front nose blunt done by Johnny Greco. And then in Oscar material, front tail shove. Will Marshall, half cab, front nose grind 180, front shove nose blunt. That's a sick one. Another nose blunt variation by him. He did a heel flip front nose blunt on this. It's hard with how long this spot's been around, how many different crews people have come and skated it. Guaranteed we missed a few here and there, so let us know in the comments. We tried to cover as many as we could. It's still very skatable.
Maybe it would help you guys if we did leave the address in the description below. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. If you think that's going overboard and blowing out the spot too much, let me know that as well. We don't have to do it, but just an idea. We're actually gonna make our way up to the Triple Stair now at just past the intersection of Don Mills and York Mills. Let's make our way over there right now. Hopefully we don't get kicked out. It's kind of raining, or maybe it's just dripping off the roof, but kind of fighting the weather all day right now. This thing is big. I mean, I've never skated it. Mitch behind the camera, which we're gonna get into, he skated this thing, which is fucked. Like, look how small I look. Technically, it's only the height of an 8 stair, but the length of it, man, this is where we gotta start throwing a goddamn measuring tape. Holy shit. I just picture like someone who's like 6 feet tall and kind of multiply that by 2, and I think that would actually add up to this length almost perfectly, maybe even a little bit longer. It's like pretty narrow, like you could pretty much almost touch each side. I mean, I can't because my arms don't go that length. Josh Forks, he did a frontside 180 on this a long time ago. It's on a Gravity Board Sports YouTube channel. He actually eats a lot of shit. He like kicks out the 180, he like lands back on it after he kicks out and just slips out and dies. And he might have also switch ollied it too. Ryan DeCenzo in Sussmonts, he did backside flip on this. I love a good backside flip, and to do it on something this long and narrow is probably one of my favorites to go down, so I had to start it with one of my favorites for sure. Gotta shout out Will Marshall as well with his opener in Slubbucks. Frontside flip the shit out of this. I think he broke his board on one of the attempts before it. And then, yeah, it just starts off with like this 3-6 Mafia song that just lands it perfectly, and it was dope. I like that one a lot. Hill Sulphur did Vario flip on this. I remember he was super hyped on that clip. I was actually talking to him, and Vario flip on this is actually epic, because now that you're up here with me, you can kind of see just how long it is. One of the most epic tricks, I gotta give it to Cody Baudry. Dude did airwalk late shove. I don't even know if that's like the name of the trick, airwalk late shove. He like spins it with his hand though. I don't even think I've ever seen that trick before, unless it's like a fly out of a bowl or some shit, but that's insane. Shout out to Cody for that one. I wouldn't even doubt it if that was like within a couple tries, if not first try. He's just got it like that. One of the most underrated skaters, and now I left a post just the other day on the YouTube community. You guys were kind of naming what were the most underrated Canadian skateboarders. Paul Trepp's name came up a lot, and I definitely have to agree with that one. RDS skateboard party video and everything after that.
Fucking hawk just landed on.
Holy shnikes. Sorry for the rude interruption, but Tony Hawk just landed in front of us. That's crazy. What the hell? Where was I? Oh yeah, Paul Trepp. He switched back, heeled this thing. But yeah, that was perfect and one of the best tricks that's ever gone down on this spot for sure.
We're giving you another angle of the run up for this triple set. It's definitely not easy to skate with this limited run up. There's a bit of a 3-stair here, and this ledge, if I remember correctly, is kind of where I started from, just to have the slightly extra foot room to run. To name some of the other tricks that have gone down here, Alex Neary did a switch pop shove. He was actually always good at hucking. I remember him. That was like a warm-up for him, I swear. He also did switch flip, and obviously with the drop and pop situation, this isn't an easy set to skate switch. It's already big enough on its own. Anything switch on this is pretty crazy. He actually also did switch frontside flip. Anything with a 180 variation, I never would have tried because of how narrow it is. It adds another level of difficulty. And I know actually Jermaine Morris landed on it as well. Looks like he just sticks after getting some wheel bite and falls off, unfortunately. Brandon Del Bianco, he did frontside big spin. I just feel like I need more space for it. So that's a sick one that he threw down on it. Most of the run up is pretty smooth and no complaints there. But once you get close here, you'll see there's like a line texture to it. It doesn't really mess you up. It would affect you more so if it was going horizontally, but it's kind of flowing with you. The only thing that sucks kind of is if you're bailing on the landing, it's the same liney texture. So it's a little bit of a cheese grater to fall on, which is unfortunate. If you look right here, you'll see the like button. I actually just found out that, pretty sure it was Ryan DeCenzo, it was in the intro of the Tens video. He actually did a tray flip on this thing.
10.
I think I did it around 2010, 2011 maybe, and that video came out just before probably I did it, so I actually just learned that this morning. I didn't think anyone had stepped to it at the time. Funny story about my tray flip. I was on a sort of double date with my girlfriend and a friend from high school at the time. I knew I could do backflips on it, so he's like, oh, let's see your moves on the trampoline or whatever. I guess I was feeling myself, started doing a few backflips, but there was a little layer of moisture on the trampoline. I did like 3 in a row, went for 1 more, and next thing I know, I'm like head first in the trampoline springs. A few days later, I wasn't gonna let it stop me. I had like scabs on my nose and my forehead and shit. You won't be able to tell in the clip, but I'll never forget doing that tray flip with scabs all over my face. I remember as well always wishing that I was able to get a Manny on that little curb at the end there. Filming it fisheye, I remember, weird situation, because Rory filmed it, but it was on Rob Mentov's camera. Shout out to Rob Mentov. For the longest time, I thought this tray flip was lost. I actually was talking to him a few weeks back, and he happened to find it. Luckily, he held on to it. But yeah, I remember Rory starting out in the stairs. It was too close and fucking with my head trying the tray flip, so he ended up tucking in this little pocket here, if you will. But yeah, that's always been a favorite tray flip of mine. If I got a tray flip on a spot, it was usually like, I wonder if I could do it switch kind of thing. I came back with the intention of switch traying it. I didn't do it to my liking, but technically did it. I don't know if anyone else is gonna say it counts, but you can be the judge. We got the clip, luckily. I did a little baker maker, as we used to call it, where my hands go down and I spin around, stood back up, still kind of landed it. I haven't seen the clip in years, so I'm glad Eric and Jordan were able to dig it up. Shout out to them. But yeah, I will show you the clip. You can be the judge whether it counts or not.
Baker.
We actually just got talked to by a couple of the workers coming in and out. They probably would have kicked us out if we had boards on us, but we're just here talking. So that played a factor into why I didn't redo it. I'm pretty sure we most likely got kicked out after I did the sketchy switch tray. I remember being super bummed, of course. I always had some high standards with my tricks and I wanted to come back and do it, but I think I just never got around to it because of how much of a struggle it was with the short run up. The more obviously we came back and other people started to skate this thing, it became more of a bust.
Baker. What would be your favorite trick?
That's a tough one. Even though it's a small list, a lot of them are all really sick. I gotta give a shout out to the airwalk shove, whatever that's called. That's crazy. When you showed me that clip the other day, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I had no clue that went down. Props to Cody, that's sick. V-flip, always appreciate a good V-flip. And probably front big spin by Binko. As far as I remember, he did that pretty proper too.
And there you have it, the triple stair at Don Mills and York Mills, as well as the bank to coston stair. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys liked it. A lot of crazy tricks have gone down on this spot specifically. Honestly, I would like to see a lot more go down. It's still open field, man. You can still skate this thing for sure. One of the guys that came out was like, people are gonna see this video and wanna come skate it again. Sorry if you see this video, guy who works here, but I wanna see some more tricks. But with that said, thank you so much. Hit the like button, comment what spot you wanna see next. It is getting colder out now, so we are gonna start kind of wrapping up this outdoor season a little bit and making our way to the indoor spots of Toronto. Let us know what spots you wanna see, man. And with all that said, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.